David Faber's there with a preview. He's also going to tell us which bracket of that pie chart we just went through he will fall into. No, just joking. David, over to you.
Yeah, Wilf, I can't see it, but that was a lot of percentages there. I'm glad you got down to that 2% who have no idea what they're doing. They probably don't even know what their name is. But we know what's going on behind me, which is about an hour and 40 or so minutes from now, an important moment for AT&T and, of course, Warner Media, led by President, COO, and head of Warner, John Stankey, who will be joined during this very long presentation where they're going to be rolling out so many of the details that we are still not in possession of in terms of their streaming service, HBO Max, which will be HBO and a lot of other content, including over 10,000 hours of library, a lot of expected new shows. But keys will be, are we going to learn anything new about technology, tie-ins with the AT&T wireless brand beyond what perhaps we already assume will be the case, and most importantly, pricing, which figured so prominently the last time I was at one of these unveilings, which was back in the spring on the backlot at Disney, where they, of course, unveiled Disney Plus. And it was that price, $6.99, that certainly grabbed a lot of both the attendees there and has resonated in the marketplace ever since. So where will this service be priced? Well, it's expected to be priced far higher, of course, given what the current price is of HBO and the fact that you have all the distributors out there, such as our parent company, Comcast, who are already in the marketplace at that price. Can you really cut it? Well, probably not. How much higher can you go? It remains a key question. Or are there going to be different ways that they can link it to different service offerings to bring in a price that is at least something more compelling, perhaps, because that is and has been the key focus of so many who've been waiting for this day. But there's going to be a lot more there as well in terms of content, in terms of new shows. As I said, Stankey, he'll be joined by Bob Greenblatt, of course, who's running so much of the programming for the new Warner service, and a number of others. And so we will be attending. We will be watching closely, as will much of Wall Street, because this is seen as certainly, Wilfred and Morgan, one of the keys for the future of AT&T, which we spoke about a lot yesterday, given their new targets for 200 basis point improvement in margins and an increase in EBITDA of over $6 billion over the next 3 years. They've got to make sure that Warner remains a very strong property. And as you well know, direct-to-consumer is one of the keys for that.
Yeah, David, I mean, you talked a lot about pricing and what that's going to look like, and certainly everybody is watching that very closely right now. When you see Disney come out and partner up with Verizon and basically offer that service free for a year, I wonder what kind of similar offerings AT&T and Time Warner could make with this, and whether the bar has basically been set, given the fact that we've already gotten so many details from so many other players in this market.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, Morgan, there's an expectation that they can and will do something along the same lines that Verizon, as you said, and Disney did last week with when they broke that news, actually on Squawk on the Street with us last Monday. But beyond that are other questions in terms of ties with DirecTV, in terms of perhaps some sort of new service offerings. You know, DirecTV now known as AT&T Now, the hemorrhaging of subscribers both at Direct and AT&T. What will be wrapped in there is another question. But yes, they do see it not just as important, obviously, for Warner's future business, but as you point out, for the wireless business. They have stuck with this idea that you can, by offering this kind of a service, continue to decrease churn. That's another question that at least some people are still wondering whether the answer is yes to.